ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् अन्देहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपथकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगणललिता शिवशाखां विदंश्च ये कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी शबानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिने नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योगा शिक्षार्थमेक पुरुष पुराण। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीरधारी कृपां पुदिर्यस्तमहं प्रपद्ये। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपा स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौरभक्तवृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौरभक्तवृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौरभक्तवृंद। गुरुवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा हरि ओम तत्सत। Welcome all the devotees for today's Chaitanya Charitamrita class. Please accept my humble obeisances. And we are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, first chapter 104 श्लोक onwards. ये दुई श्लोके कैला मंगला वंदना तृतीय श्लोकेर अर्थ सुना सर्वजना। ये दुई श्लोक कैला मंगला वंदना तृतीय श्लोकेर अर्थ सुना सर्वजना। हरे कृष्ण टू डिवोटीज।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। এই দুই শ্লোকে কইলা মঙ্গলা বন্দনা তৃতীয় শ্লোকের अर्थ सुनो सर्वजना। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु। ई दुई श्लोके केला मंगल बंदना तृतीय श्लोकेर अर्थ सुन सर्व जाना। हरे कृष्ण।
I have invoked the benediction of the Lords with these two verses, text 1 and 2 of this chapter. Now please hear attentively the purport of the third verse. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is telling that he has invoked the benediction of the two Lords. Who are the two Lords? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. They are like, sun and moon, simultaneously risen on the horizon of Gaudadesh. Now please hear attentively the purport of the third verse. Now he is going to give explanation for the third verse. Vaktavya bahulya grandha vistare radare vistarena varni sarartha kahi alpakshare. Vaktavya bahulya grandha vistare radare vistarena varni sarartha kahi alpakshare. Very good.
वक्तव्य बाहुल्य ग्रंथ विस्तारे रदारे विस्तारे नावर्णी सारार्थ कही अल्पाक्षरे।
Yes.
वक्तव्य बाहुल्य ग्रंथ विस्तारे विस्तारेण वार्णी सारार्थ कही अल्पाक्षरे।
Thank you. I purposely avoid extensive discussion for fear of increasing the bulk of this book, I shall describe the essence as concisely as possible. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is, afraid that, if we elaborate, this book volume will be too much. And when it is a very big volume, people generally tend to avoid. It is a small book. Now everyone wants, instant bhakti. They don't want to read. They don't want to practice. It's not possible. You have to put in effort. Okay, so you have to read, because it's not limited to one book, isn't it? So but still, even after minimizing the contents, it has gone to 11,000, 12,000 verses. And Prabhupada translated 12 cantos in 18 volumes, with detailed purport. But if you read this to, if you read Chaitanya Charitamrita from cover to cover, all the books, you get Srimad Bhagavatam, you get Bhagavad Gita, everything. Not only that, you get many other scriptures within this. It's not one or two scriptures. More than 50 scriptures are quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It said that I heard, from a devotee's class, more than 50, scriptures are quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So if you want to get the glimpse of all these scriptures, it is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So that is, it's the mercy of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Had he not written this world actually will be in darkness. We won't know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And who has sent this outside India? Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, the first. Who sent this outside?
Prabhupada Prabhuji.
No. When the year Prabhupada was born, 1896, it was sent to Canadian University, McGill, I think. That book is still there in Canadian University. Some of the devotees have gone there and found that book. The first copy outside India about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It was in 1896. By whom? Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He wrote these teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Midam cha saram cha vachohi vagmita idi. Midam cha saram cha vachohi vagmita idi.
मितं च सारं च वाचो हि वाग्मित इति.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Mitam cha saram cha bacho hi bhagmita iti.
Essential truth spoken concisely is true eloquence. It's a beautiful this thing, no? Essential truth spoken concisely is true eloquence. Because it's not necessary that you have to write pages and after pages. Concisely you can speak the truth in eloquence. Sunile khandibe chitera jnanadi dosha Krishne ghada prema habe paiba santosha. Sunile khandibe chitera jnanadi dosha Krishne ghada prema habe paiba santosha.
Hare Krishna. सुनीले खांडी बेचे तेरा अजनान दीदी दोसा कृष्ण गधा प्रेम हबे पाइबे संतोषा.
कांडीबे चित्तेरा अज्ञानादि दोषा कृष्णे गाढ़ प्रेम हबे पाइबे संतोषा.
Very good. Yes. Simply hearing submissively will free one's heart from all the false ignorance, and thus one will achieve deep love for Krishna. This is the path of peace. Okay. Yasyam Vaishrooyamanayam Krishne Parama Purushe Bhaktir Utpatyado Pumsam Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. Okay. Bhagavatam says. Simply by oral reception, what will happen? Bhakti towards Krishna will develop. Not only that, all our misgivings and our Shoka means, what is shoka means? Lamentation. Moha means illusion. And bhaya, fear. It will go away. Simply by oral reception of scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam. Here, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami also telling, simply hearing Samisili will free one's heart from all faults of ignorance. So that is the potency of the holy name, fame, paraphernalia, Leela of the Supreme Lord and His pure devotees. From all faults of ignorance. And thus one will achieve deep love for Krishna. So it's not only remove all the contaminations, and what will happen further? After that we will develop deep love for Krishna. This is the path of peace. This is the path of peace. Peace formula is given in Bhagavad Gita. There is a sloka. How we can attain peace? What is the formula? Yes, Madhuri. Bhoktaram yatnya tapasam sarvaloka maheswaram suhurdam sarvabhutanam jnatva mam shanti richari. One should know Bhokta, who is Bhokta. Bhokta means enjoyer. Now we are thinking that I am the enjoyer. Okay, I have a big bungalow, I have a good car, I have a good job, good family, I am enjoying. No, these are all temporary. Yes, we are enjoying, no doubt. But our enjoyment depends on how we give enjoyment to Krishna. That is where our permanent enjoyment. These are temporary sensual enjoyment, which is diminishing day by day. Today's enjoyment, tomorrow we cannot enjoy. Okay, it is not long lasting. It is flickering. It is temporary. So during now the mind, even our mind keeps changing. 10 days, 10 months back, or 1 year back, or few years back, our mind, what was our mind? It's not the same mind today. What were our desires few years back? It is not the same desire today. Now in the when we are say 4 years, 5 years old, if you get a small three wheel cycle, bicycle, tricycle, we are very happy. When you become 8, 9 years old, we want that 2 wheel cycle, bicycle, and after that we want motorcycle. Then after that we want car, like that, and then not small car, big car. So our desires of the mind keeps changing, isn't it? So that's why all what we have, what we are thinking that is giving pleasure is temporary. But that real pleasure is when we give pleasure to Supreme Lord, the real pleasure, then we will get the enjoyment. Because we are part of that Supreme Lord who is eternally existing, blissful and full of knowledge. We are connected to that Supreme Lord. So He is the Bhokta, Bhoktaram. He is the actual enjoyer and of Yatnya Tapas, Bhoktaram Yatnya Tapasam. Okay, he is to be, he should be given the yatnyas for his pleasure, for his satisfaction. That is yatnya. Tapas, our austerity should be to please him. We are taking austerity, some simple austerity, unlike the earlier ages. We are doing simple austerity, getting up early in the morning, chanting our rounds, doing our arati, reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, associating with devotees. So, in the present days, it's an austerity actually. It's not that easy. People think that, yes, over a period of time we'll get accustomed with that, but still, it's an austerity, especially in the age of Kali. Getting up early in the morning, 3:30, 4 o'clock, 4:30, it's not easy. Isn't it? So that's an austerity. Observing Agadashi is an austerity. Okay, doing devotional service sometimes, even though we are packed up with so many material, engagements and responsibilities, still we take time and do our daily sadhana. It's an austerity. Unlike the previous day, the austerity was much higher because of the time duration that we had those ages. No, it was a different thing. We cannot compare that time to this time. But in Kali Yuga, duration of life is limited, and Sumanda, Manda, and Manda, Sumanda, Mandayo, Manda Bhagya, Ubadra, with all these negative qualifications, Okay, it's not easy to practice devotional service, and the outside world, the distractions, when we go out, see the malls and the billboards, this, that, the people around, all negativity, full negativity, isn't it? It's not easy to keep the mind in focus in anything. The minds get distracted, so much allurements are there outside. So that's why before we go out of the house, we should wear the Narayana Kavacha. What is the Narayana Kavacha? Chanting minimum 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra. Then it is just as good as the swimsuit. You will not get wet. It's a Kavacha. The soldiers are putting Kavacha. So even if they, shoot you, it will not hurt you. So this Kavacha is required, that is chanting should be required, and regular association with devotees, book Bhagavata and person Bhagavata required. Like that we can save ourselves from the impending dangers. So Bhaktaram Itnitabsam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhurdam Sarvabhudanam. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He is the proprietor of all lokas. Okay? We are proprietor of one family, 3 BHK, 2 BHK, one bungalow. We are proprietor. Beyond that, if we go out, step out, we are not free. Isn't it? We cannot do whimsically anything just outside our door. Even inside the door also, there are limitations. It is just like the cow is tied to a rope. Okay, the cow has freedom to the extent the length of the rope. It cannot go beyond that. So we have freedom within our apartment house or within our village. Isn't it? That also, there are so many people are there, rules and regulations, the state laws are there, civil laws are there. We are bound by it. We have to adhere to it. We cannot go against that. But that's why he is the Maheshwara, Sarvaloka Maheshwara. Okay? Sarvaloka Maheshwara. And he is Suhurdam Sarvabhutana. Okay? We are also having friends. Okay? But our friends are limited. We don't make friendship with anyone and everyone. Very limited friends. But Lord Sri Krishna is Suhurd, well-wishing friend of all living entities, not just human beings. All living beings. Those who know this in truth, they will have peace of mind. That's what Krishna says. That's a peace formula. Bhaktaram Yatnatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhurdam Sarvabhutanam Nyatva Mam Shanti Richadi. That person will have peace of mind. Because he knows in truth that these are all temporary. I am controller, I am proprietor, I am master of a particular place and particular. It's all limited by time and space. We cannot go beyond that. So that's what even Lord Krishna tells that. So simply hearing submissively will free one's heart from all the faults of ignorance. And thus one will achieve deep love for Krishna. This is a path of peace. So we have to develop deep love for Krishna. So what sort of deep love? Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radokshaje ahaitugi apratihada yatma suprasi. Ahaitugi. Without any expectation in return. That is the param dharma. Then we can develop deep love for Krishna. So text 108 and 109. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Advaita Mahatva Tanra Bhakta Bhakti Nama Prema Rasa Tattva Bhinna Bhinna Likhiyachi Kariya Vichara Sunile Jani Besaba Vastu Tattva Sara Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Advaita Mahatva Tanra Bhakta Bhakti Nama Prema Rasa Tattva Bhinna Bhinna Likhiyachi Kariya Vichara Sunile Jani Besaba Vastu Tattva Sara. Hare Krishna.
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Advaita Mahatattva Tattva Tan Bhakta Bhakti Nama Prema Rasa Tattva Tattva Bhinna Bhinna Likhiyachi Kariya Vichara सुनीले जानिबे सब वस्तु तत्व सारा. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Advaita Mahatata Tanara Bhakta Bhakti Nama Prema Rasha Tattva Bhinna Bhinna Likhi Achi Kariya Bichara Sunile Jani Vishava Vastu Tattva Shara.
Very good. If one patiently hears about the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Advaita Prabhu and their devotees, devotional activities, names and fame, along with the mellows of their trance and loving exchanges, one will learn the essence of the absolute truth. Therefore, I have described this in Chaitanya Charitamrita with logic and discrimination. Okay. So one has to be patient in hearing the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Advaita Acharya and other members of Panchatattva and pure devotees. Their devotional activities, leelas, their names, the fame, along with their mellows of trance and loving exchanges between the Panchatattva, between Supreme Lord and the devotees. Then we will know the essence of the absolute truth, Param Satya. Satyam Param Dhimahi. Let me meditate upon the supreme absolute truth. Now, Vyasadeva says in the first verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto. Therefore, I have described this in the Chaitanya with logic and discrimination. So, this is not just a whimsical, imaginary, composition. Okay. It is, he has written this with logic and discrimination about the absolute truth. Shri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Yara Asha Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Dasa. Shri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Yara Asha Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Dasa. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Yara Asa Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Dasa. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Shri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Yara Asha Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Dasa.
Haribo. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunatha, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadasa, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita following in their footsteps. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purpose to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, first chapter describing the spiritual masters. So, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, end of every chapter, he writes this. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Raghunatha, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadas, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita following in their footsteps. Okay, so he gives the complete credit to Rupa and Raghunath Das Goswami. Okay. Without their mercy, I cannot do anything. Just because of the blessings, I am able to write what I am writing. So, in each and every chapter, this ends with these prayers. So that is the real humility of a saintly personality. They never take the credit for themselves. It's all because of the blessings of the previous acharyas, the Guru Janas. Usually in the material world, any author, when they write the book, what they will say? It's my book. Okay, I have written. It's my effort. They never give credit to anyone. Very rare. You may find some, but generally it is not so. Okay, but here he is telling. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is telling, he himself telling, you just see the humility. Vrindavan Das Thakur has written Chaitanya Bhagavata. Please read that. Okay, if you read my book, you will be doomed. See the extent of humility, because he has written everything. Whatever is remnant, what he has kept left, I have just tried to write that by the blessings of Radha Madan Mohanji and Rupa and Krishnadas, Raghunath Das Goswami. Any author will recommend others' book. The author will recommend his own book. He will not recommend others' book generally. That is the material. But here, so this is the, the loving exchanges between devotees. So no devotee will claim that he is a devotee. If somebody says I am a devotee, that means he is not a devotee. So this is how he ends each and every chapter. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purport. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, first chapter, describing the spiritual masters. Okay, so start chapter 2. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And now Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is trying to establish that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. Okay, Swayam Bhagavan. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Okay, we'll read this, then go. This chapter explains that Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself. Therefore, the Brahman effulgence is the bodily luster of Lord Chaitanya, and the localized super soul situated in the heart of every living entity is his partial representation. So, we know in Srimad Bhagavatam is already given Brahmedi, Paramatmedi, Bhagwan, Iti Sadvyade. So, there are three aspects for the Supreme Lord. Okay, one is Brahman aspect, Paramatma aspect, and Bhagwan aspect. As we have explained earlier, Brahman aspect is only partial understanding. Paramatma aspect, the person who is having Paramatma realization, it's also partial, but it includes Brahman also. In Brahman, there is no Paramatma realization, there is no Bhagwan realization. In Paramatma, Brahman realization is there and Paramatma. In Bhagwan, all the three are there: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. So that is a complete realization of the Supreme Absolute Truth. So, Brahman and Paramatma is partial representation only. It's a incomplete knowledge. If somebody is jnanis, they are transcendentalists, but their knowledge is partial. Yogis, their knowledge is also partial. Why? Because they only have the knowledge of Brahman and Paramatma. But Bhaktas who accept the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is transcendental, and he is there in the spiritual world and enjoying with his devotees. That is the ultimate realization of Bhagavan, which includes Brahman and Paramatma realization. So the Purushavasaras are also explained in this connection. Mahavishnu is a reservoir of all conditioned souls, but as confirmed in the authoritative scriptures, Lord Krishna is the ultimate fountainhead, the source of numerous plenary expansions, including Narayana, who is generally accepted as by Mayavadi philosophers to be the absolute truth. So, in no other literature you will find so much explanation about the Purushavasaras. How this material world is created, who is Mahavishnu or Karnasa Vishnu, and what is his position, who is Garbhosa Vishnu, what is his position, and who is Shirasai Vishnu, and position in detail you will find in Chaitanya Charitamrita. But in Bhagavad Gita, have you come across? Yes, in the purport, Prabhupada is written. Okay, some places you will find details. Okay, not in other Bhagavad Gita, because why? Prabhupada knows. That's why in Gaudiya Vaishnavism only you will find this detailed information of cosmic creation, which Vishnu is doing what are their roles. All these things in detail you will get in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Even so, Adi Shankaracharya accepts Narayana as absolute truth. So although he is propagating Mayavada philosophy, Adi Shankaracharya Narayana is the supreme absolute. So that's what Prabhupada says here. The source of numerous plenary expansion, including Narayana, means that is Krishna is the source of numerous plenary expansion, including Narayana, which is generally accepted by Mayavadi philosophers to be the absolute truth. Generally, but they are more into what? Believing that Brahman is the ultimate, and they want to go to that Brahma Jyoti. The Lord's manifestation of Prabhava and Vaibhava expansions, as well as the partial incarnations and incarnations with delegated powers, are also explained. Lord Krishna's ages of boyhood and youth are discussed, and it is explained that his age at the beginning of youth is eternal form. Okay, so in this chapter, his about his Prabhava and Vaibhava expansions. Okay, there are two types of many, but two main, Prabhava and Vaibhava, and his different incarnation like uh, Leela Avataras, Purusha Avataras, Yoga Avataras, Manandara Avataras, Shakti Avataras are all described in this. The delegated powers means Shakti Avatara, Leela Avataras are all explained. Lord Krishna's age. Now about the age. So what is his age? Eternal form is beginning of youth. That is his eternal form. The actual eternal form is Tribhanga Lalita Shyama Sundara form. And what it looks like at what age? What is beginning of youth? 15, 16. After the teens. Okay, so that 15, 16 is the eternal form of Supreme Lord Krishna. That's eternal form. Beginning of youth is his eternal form. So that's why we will never find Krishna's form, just like we are seeing. Brahma's form is depicted as with white beard, very old. Have you ever seen Krishna's form like that? During the time of Kurukshetra war, he was about 100 years, 100 plus years. But his form was evergreen, Nava Yavanam Cha. About 15, just crossed the Kaishwara and ended the youth, Yavanam, Nava Yavanam. The spiritual sky contains innumerable spiritual planets, the Vaikunthas, which are manifestations of the Supreme Lord's internal energy. Innumerable material universes are similarly exhibited by his external energy, and the living entities are manifested by his marginal energy. I have read somewhere there are millions of Vaikunthas in the spiritual sky. Okay. The ecstasy that a devotee gets in Goloka, even 1% of that ecstasy, all the Vaikunthas put together will not get. So that is the possession of Goloka. The loving exchanges between Lord Krishna and his pure devotees. In that, the both Krishna as well as the devotees enjoys. That is, you put all the millions of Vaikuntha planets together, not even one drop. That is, within the spiritual world, the possession of Goloka. So innumerable material universes are similarly exhibited by his external energy, and the living entities are manifested by his marginal energy. We know that. Because Lord Krishna Chaitanya is not different from Lord Krishna, he is the cause of all causes. There is no cause beyond him. Brahma Samhita, Brahma says in the invocation mantra, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. If there is a cause for that, then he cannot be God. That's why Brahma says Anadir Adir Govinda. Anadir. There is no beginning for Krishna. He is the beginningless. He is beginningless. Adir. He is original. So Lord Chaitanya is directly the Supreme Lord Krishna, as the evidence of authoritative scriptures proves. This chapter stresses that a devotee who wishes to advance in Krishna consciousness must have knowledge of Krishna's personal form, his three principal energies, the pastimes, and the relationship of the living entities with him. So these are the summary of this particular chapter, chapter 2. Text 1. Sri Chaitanya Prabhum Vande Balopi Yadanugrahat Tarenana Madagraha Vyaptam Siddhanta Sagaram. Sri Chaitanya Prabhum Vande Balopi Yadanugrahat Tarenmana Matagraha Vyaptam Siddhanta Sagaram. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
श्री चैतन्य प्रभु वंदे बालोपि यत् अनुग्रहात् तरेण तन्मन्ग्रह व्याप्तं सिद्धांत सागरम्.
श्रीचैतन्यप्रभुं वन्दे बालो अनुभात् तरेन्नानामथ ग्राह व्याप्तं सिद्धान्तसागरम्.
Very good. I offer my obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by whose mercy even an ignorant child can swim across the ocean of conclusions about the ultimate truth, which is full of the crocodiles of various theories. It's a beautiful sloka. So, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is paying his obeisance to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by whose mercy even an ignorant child can swim across the ocean of conclusion. Now, if we cannot even cross a river, what to speak of ocean? Okay. But this is ocean of conclusion, because there are so many Siddhantas. So many Siddhantas. So only by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy we will get the conclusions of all these Siddhantas. Otherwise we will be drifted away, just like a small boat without proper navigation, without the mothership. Will be drifted away in this vast material ocean. Similarly, because of so many real Siddhanta and Apasiddhanta also, will be totally lost. So, if we have the blessings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we will know the conclusions. What is the Siddhanta? Because it is here the different theories are compared to crocodiles. If we come in the jaws of crocodile, what will happen? What will happen?
Finish, Prabhuji. Class.
Like that, if we get to some such theories, gone, isn't it?
Yes.
We'll be nowhere. We won't know which path to take. So it's a blessing, or some sugurvi, that we got the right path. Otherwise, we will be lost in wilderness. Isn't it? We don't know which way to take. There are so many theories in Sanatana Dharma. Because why there are so many theories? Is it wrong? Why Lord has given so many theories, so many paths? What is the reason? For others, this one, just take it. Just you have to take it. There's no other option there. But for us, so many options are given. Why God confused us like that, giving so many options? What is the reason?
Prabhuji, life is very short in Kali Yuga, Prabhuji, so we cannot try so many different options now, Prabhuji. So we have to have one option and we have to...
But then are you ready to accept it? Yeah, we know the life is short.
That is, yes, Prabhuji, that is only Guru Kripa only, and Vishwas in Guru only can have, Prabhuji. If we have faith in our Guru and his teachings, only we can do that, Prabhuji.
Yes, you are right, Prabhu, 100%. Okay, I want to have others' opinion also.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, if I'm not wrong, the question is that why Krishna has given so many paths? If this is the ultimate path, why
can't he, insist
give
that
one
you
path?
do this?
That is a free will. Krishna has probably given us a free will, and as per our sukriti or as per our karmas, we will probably go to that path. Maybe that he has given us will to choose. He has given us all open pathways.
Yeah.
He is liberal.
He doesn't compel us. He has given us free will, and according to the modes with which we are, influenced with. That person chooses that path. Just for example, okay, my receptive capacity is just like that of a KG kindergarten child. If I am given the curriculum or syllabus of the college, will I be able to digest that? No. So according to the modes in which I am influenced with, I can digest only that much. So slowly and gradually you take this. If you are in the mode of ignorance, take this and you improve. Okay. So according to the receptibility of the child, KG standard, first standard, second standard. If you ask a child who is in first standard, okay, 1000 minus 10,000, he will say it is not possible. Isn't it? So that is so, according to the consciousness level of the people, different paths, according to the modes of with which they are influenced, the different paths are given. So you can opt according to your nature. So you cannot impose. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
But Lord Krishna has kindly told us this is the right pathway. You do whatever you want, but this is the right pathway.
Yeah.
In
Krishna
Bhagavad
tells
Gita,
Arjuna,
Bhagavatam.
whatever I have to tell you, I told you. Now you choose. Use your intelligence. And you see, then what he says, Karishye vachanam tava. Okay. I'll do whatever he say. Because he was convinced. Arjuna was convinced. Okay. So that's why different paths are there. Depending upon their consciousness level, depending upon their receptive power, different path. So everything is, just like a stepping stone. Just like slowly and gradually, we are going higher and higher. Okay, we cannot take one step, first step, then take the 12th step, isn't it? We cannot take that. Slowly and gradually improve. So that time and that different path Lord has given us. Fortunately, we have got the direct path, bhakti. That is our fortune of whatever Paramananda Prabhu said, some sukriti we have done in our earlier lives. That's why we are directly. So we have to think that we have gone through all these stages and now come to the ultimate stage of bhakti. So let us practice it with sincerity. So it is compared to crocodiles, all the other theories. Very dangerous. By the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even an inexperienced boy with no educational culture can be saved from ocean of nature. So, as we generally says, what is that? Kathanjana smrite yasmin dushkaram sugharam bhavet vismaret viparitasyat Sri Chaitanya namamitam. You know that slogan, no? Okay. Kathanjana smrite yasmin dushkaram sugharam bhavet. Simply by meditating or remembering Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, dushkaram sugharam bhavet. Whatever miseries, whatever bad things that's happening in your life, that will become sukharam, good. Simply by remembering Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Dushkaram sugharam bhavet. Vismaret viparitasyat. And if it is the other way, if you forget, what will happen? Viparita. Even sukharam will become dushkaram. Good time will become bad time. Good environment will become bad environment. Good things will become bad. So simply by remembering Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is a mercy. Even we are undergoing some miseries, it will be immediately turned to happiness. So by the mercy of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even an inexperienced boy with no educational culture can be saved from the ocean of nations, which is full of various types of philosophical doctrines that are like dangerous aquatic animals. Okay, if you fall into an ocean, there are dangerous aquatic animals. Within no time we will lose our life. Like that, if you get into the group of such people who propagate different types of doctrines or path, our life is spoiled. The philosophy of Buddha, the argumentative presentations of Jnanis, the yoga system of Patanjali and Gautama, and the systems of philosophers like Kanada, Kapila and Dattatreya are dangerous creatures in the ocean of nations. Prabhupada gives wonderful purport. So this it's not wrong. For a devotee who have already come to bhakti, reading that and going back in that direction is wrong. But those who are practicing that, those who have not got this, for them it's a slow and gradual process for upgradation. But those who are already practicing Bhakti Yoga, then reading that and going backward, just like person who is in 10th standard is going and sitting in first class. It's not wrong. What the teachers are teaching in first class is not wrong. It is correct for that pupil, for that child. But you already crossed that. You are in Bhakti Marga. You are getting the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Lord Sri Krishna. So why do you want to take, going backward? So that's the question. So it's not that the Buddha's philosophy, Jnani's yoga system, Patanjali, Gautama, Kannada, Kapila, it's wrong. It is not meant for the Bhakti, because we are practicing by the mercy of Supreme Lord and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, the highest path of yoga, Bhakti Yoga. So that's why for us it is dangerous creatures in the ocean of naysayers. So by the grace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one can have real understanding of the essence of knowledge by avoiding the sectarian views and accepting the lotus feet of Krishna as the ultimate goal of life. So if non-devotees are reading this, they will think, why Prabhupada is writing that? Prabhupada is giving the highest, topmost. So here Prabhupada has written here, see, dangerous creatures in the ocean of the path, the Siddhanta of all these saintly personalities. They are all not ordinary people, saintly personalities. They are not ordinary people. But as far as the devotee is concerned, it's dangerous. That's what it means. So, let us all worship Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for his gracious mercy to the conditioned soul. Okay? It's the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that we got the Param Satya, the supreme absolute truth, in the form of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has given to us. So beautiful this thing. Text 2. Krishno Kirtana Gana Nartana Kala Patho Jani Bhatija Bhrachita Sadbhaktavali Hamsa Chakra Madhupa Shreni Viharaspadam Karnanandi Kaladhvanir Vahatu Me Jivha Maru Prangane Shri Chaitanya Dayanidhe Tavalasan Leela Sudhas Swardhuni Krishno Kirtana Gana Nartana Kala Patho Jani Bhratija Sadbhaktavali Hamsa Chakra Madhupa Shreni Viharaspadam Karnanandi Kaladhunir Vahatu Me Jivva Maru Prangane Shri Chaitanya Nayanidhe Tavalasan Leela Sudha Swardhuni. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
कृष्णोत्कीर्तन गान नर्तना कला पथो जानी भ्रजिता सद्भक्तावली हंसा चक्र मधुपा श्रेणी विहारस्पदम कर्णानंदी कलध्वनिर्वाहतु मे जिह्वा मारु प्रांगणे श्री चैतन्य दयानिधे तवलासल लीला सुधा स्वर्धुनी. हरे कृष्ण.
कृष्णो कीर्तनगाननर्तनकला पातो जनी भ्राजिता सत्भक्तावलिहंस चक्रमधुप श्रेणीविहारास्पदम् कर्णानन्दिकलध्वनैर्वहतु मे जिह्वामरुप्राङ्गणे श्रीचैतन्यदयानिधे तवलसल् लीला सुधा स्वर्धुनी.
Hari Bol. O my merciful Lord Chaitanya, may the nectarian Ganges waters of your transcendental activities flow on the surface of desert-like tongue. Beautifying these waters are the lotus flowers of singing, dancing, and loud chanting of Krishna's holy name, which are the pleasure abodes of unalloyed devotees. These devotees are compared to swans, ducks, and bees. The rivers flowing produces a melodious sound that gladdens their ears. So Krishnadas Kaviraji Goswami is praying, O merciful Lord Chaitanya, may the nectarian Ganges waters where transcendental activities flow on the surface of my desert-like tongue. It is dry totally. Okay. So this nectarian Ganges water should flow on the surface of that desert-like tongue. And that water is beautified by what? Lotus flowers of singing, dancing, and loud chanting of Krishna's holy name. Kirtana, Japa, which are the pleasure abodes of unalloyed. That is the abode of the pure devotees. Devotees are compared to swans, ducks, and bees. Okay, swans, they are all only the good things they will take. Okay, and bees also in what you call. Even if the bee goes to a flower which is there in a dirty place, it will take only the honey from that. It will not take the garbage. So the rivers flowing produces a melodious sound that gladdens their ears. So our tongues always engage in vibrating useless sounds that do not help us realize transcendental peace. The tongue is compared to a desert because a desert needs a constant supply of refreshing water to make it fertile and fruitful. What is the substance most needed in the desert? The transient pleasure derived from mundane topics of art, culture, politics, sociology, dry philosophy, poetry, and so on is compared to the mere drop of water, because although such topics have a qualitative feature of the trans pleasure, they are saturated with the modes of material nature. So only Krishna Kadan, the Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, these are compared to the constant flowing of nectarian water. Okay, there are other like art, culture, politics, sociology, dry philosophy, poetry. So just a drop of water. Where is a drop of water? Where is the constant flowing of Ganga? Where is the comparison? So we may enjoy materially with art, culture, politics, sociology, all these things, but that's just a drop of water. So in a desert, if you get a drop of water, what's the use? So we should have adequate water to quench our thirst, right? So that drop of water is nothing. So we need spiritual substance, devotees association, Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. Then only our body will get nourishment, we will get satisfaction, all these things. So we need that. So therefore neither collectively nor individually can they satisfy the vast requirements of the desert-like tongue. So even if you get so much of stuff, for material enjoyment, that will not be enough for the desert-like tongue. Despite crying in various conferences, therefore, the desert-like tongue continues to be parched. For this reason, people from all parts of the world must call for devotees of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who are compared to swans swimming around the beautiful lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or bees humming around his lotus feet in transcendental pleasure. Searching for honey. The dryness of material happiness cannot be moistened by so-called philosophers who cry for Brahman liberation and similar dry speculative subjects. Okay, so the dryness of material happiness cannot be moistened, with all these Siddhanta philosophies. The urge of the soul proper is different. The soul can be solaced only by the mercy of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his many bona fide devotees, who never leave the lotus feet of the Lord to become imitation Mahaprabhus, but all cling to the lotus feet like bees that never leave a honey-soaked lotus flower. So we should catch up the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, just like how bees are attached to honey-soaked lotus flower. Lord Chaitanya's moment of Krishna consciousness is full of dancing and singing about the pastimes of Lord Krishna. So our moment is very, very, entertaining. Okay, why? Singing, dancing, and feasting. What more you want? Singing, dancing, and feasting. Okay, so our moment is like that. It is combined here into the pure waters of the Ganges, which are full of lotus flowers. The enjoyers of those lotus flowers are the pure devotees, who are like bees and swans. Okay, Krishna Todiya Pada Pankaja Panjarandam Advoya Me Vishadu Manasa Raja Hamsa Prana Prayana Samaye Kapavata Pitte Kantavarodhana Vidos Maranam Kutaste. Vilamangala Thakur says, at the time of leaving the body, because of the Mada Pitta Kaba, I won't be able to remember him. So let me leave the body right now when I am in good health. I can remember him. Okay, just like in the Pankaja, in the lotus flower, the the swan swim and always stuck to the lotus flower because its food is the lotus stem, lotus seed and all. Similarly, the devotees also should be always clinging to the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay? And so he humbly compares himself to materialistic person who always engage in dry talk from which they derive no satisfaction. So we may be talking like politics, sports, films, so many other mundane topics which will bring no satisfaction to our soul. So what brings satisfaction to the soul? Only Krishna Katha. Nothing else. Others may, for some time, you may be getting some enjoyment, some, satisfaction, but it is not long lasting. If you want long lasting, eternal enjoyment, one should listen to Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela of the Soul Personality of Godhead. So if they were to use their dry tongues to chant the holy name of Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, as exemplified by Lord Chaitanya, they would taste sweet nectar and enjoy life. So this is compared to the nectar. Okay. Chanting Hare Krishna Mantra associated with devotees, discussing Matchitta Madgada Prana Bodhayanda Parasparam Kadayandascha Mam Nityam Tushyanticha Ramanticha. Tushyanticha Ramanticha. Okay. You're enjoying one another by speaking the topics related to Supreme Lord and His pure devotees. That is the real, nourishment for the soul. All other items, other enjoyment for only our sense pleasure, temporary, to the gross body or maximum to the subtle body. It gives flickering happiness. But the real happiness for the soul is Krishna Katha. Hare Krishna. So text 3 next week. Vancha kalpatarubhyacha kripa sindhubhyavacha patidanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Guru Maharaj ki jai. Go Premanande. Hari Hari Bo.